Hi, this is Stacy. I am doing cutout cookies today. I did my dough last night, put it in the fridge, so it's all ready to go. I've already done one batch. My first batch I did was the gingerbread, and now I'm going to start another tray, and I'm going to do my angels. So we're going to roll that out. It's currently 10 a.m., so I got to get this done. I have my two nieces who are 15 and 14 coming over, and they help decorate them, and they do such a beautiful job, and they've done this since, I don't know, they were real little. They've done it. It's a nice tradition. I love when they come over. We always have so much fun. We play some Christmas music, and they're just such good little artists. So I'm always super excited to do that tradition. So I got my flour, my dough, roll it out. I do them a little bit thicker. I like them a little thicker side. And this recipe is so good. I usually make like, I don't know, 10 different kinds of cookies. But the last couple of years, we've gone on a Disney trip for Christmas, for the holidays there. And some of my blogs are out now, so go check them out. But so I don't have a lot of time to do 10 different kinds of cookies. So the number one cookie everybody absolutely has to have are my cutouts. So of course the hardest ones, the longest ones. So I made them last year and then again this year. So everybody would seem to be happy because I at least did my cutouts. So go ahead and you just cut these all out. That one's a little sticky, so that one might have to be redo. But yeah, I make a lot of these cutouts because they do definitely go fast with the family members. So some of them are a little sticky here, so I need more flour there. Let's scrape up the sticky part. So it doesn't re-stick. Now I don't do a lot of baking. I only do baking really a few times a year. Baking's not my favorite thing. I love cooking. Cooking is my thing. Baking, not so much. You know, everything has to be precise, measured. Cooking, you just cook. You just add everything. Nothing needs to be measured. It's just eyeballing. But baking, you have to be real precise. And truth be told, my whole life, my mom was a professional baker. And oh my goodness, she was the best baker. She is the best baker still to this day. She's such a good baker. So we mostly always leave the baking up to my mom. But all right, that should be. All right, I just roll that out to the thickness that I like. He said I like them a little thicker. Everybody likes them a little thicker. And this recipe is so good, you guys. It's got sour milk in it. It's got a little bit of nutmeg in it. It's just such a nice cookie. It's not dry. It's not hard. It's definitely everybody's favorite. You can just eat them plain even. They're so good. I try to squeeze out as many as I can with each rolling because you don't want to over roll because then it's not good. That's Noah. Noah loves Christmas cutout cookies. It is his absolute favorite thing in the whole world. So we always give him the rejects, I call them, the ones that I'm not going to be putting out for company in our Christmas Eve dinner. We host Christmas Eve dinner. We always have like a big, huge Polish feast on Christmas Eve. That's our formal dinner. We have about 25 people every year come for it. And then I always do a cookie platter for dessert. But Noah, ever since he was a puppy, he has always loved Christmas cutout cookies. He's so funny. He's got a massive sweet tooth. I always say like his dad, like Han. He loves cake, and he loves Christmas cutout cookies. So we always put a stash of any of the rejects, that we're not going to use. We put them in a separate bag, and we keep them for little treats throughout the holidays for Noah. And Nixon too, obviously. Our other dog. Okay, I'm just trying to maximize this batch. I should be able to get a few more out of this batch of dough. And then they'll be ready to go in the oven at the same time. So then I only have to set the oven timer for all at once. So I wait till I have a couple trays full, and then I put them all at once in the oven. My Polish princess apron was dirty from making the dough last night, so I have my other one on, and it's what is it, Babci's kitchen. So yeah, Babci means grandma in Polish. Actually, one of my good friends gifted this one to me. The other one my husband got for me. So, all right, I think we can squeeze out one more, maybe another one. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe not, though. Yeah, we got it. Perfect. I line my trays always with the parchment paper. I always get the pre-cut ones because it just makes it easier, and they fit the tray just perfectly. But I always use those. So I stock up on them. I place them far apart because they do poof up, because I do cut them a little bit thicker. And I got some room on this tray yet for the extra here, because this is my big jumbo tray. I love that. I have two of these. Okay, so these ones are ready to go in the oven. Put them in for 8 minutes, and then we'll roll out another ball of dough. Okay, got my next batch of dough ready to roll it out, and I think we're gonna go with trees. So I did my gingerbread, I did some angels, and now we're gonna do trees. I try to get these as close as possible, so less rolling out I have to do. So I usually pat that flour off a little bit so it's not too much flour. In between batches of dough that I do, I always rewash my hands just to get any of the sticky stuff off, or just kind of have fresh hands always. And I always start with fresh parchment paper after the last batch comes out, but I save the parchment paper that I use, and I take that off and put new one, but I save the old one because then I use it to line the table when frost the cookies and decorate it, so nice and neat, a little bit neater. And then I have somewhere to put the cookies to dry on the paper, So it's a good way to repurpose it. And it just keeps everything nice and neat. So tell me, you guys, do you guys have a big Christmas Eve dinner? Do you do Christmas Day dinner? What do you guys do? What's your traditions? We have always done, like I said, the Christmas Eve formal big dinner. And then I host it. My grandma always hosted it every year. And oh my goodness, we used to look so forward to going to my grandma's house for the huge dinner. And then, you know, she got older, so I took it over. She's passed away now, but I took it over years ago. I just love that tradition so much. So I called dibs, and I was the oldest grandchild, so I got dibs on it. So I just love it so very much. And it's just so much fun. And I really do truly love hosting it. My husband helps me out. My kids help me out. My mom helps me out. Everybody helps, you know. And then on Christmas morning, we have always gone to my parents' house. And they always have done a big brunch. So we all gather there on Christmas morning, and we do brunch, and then we exchange presents. And then we're home kind of like at a decent time, and we kind of have the night to ourselves, you know, and so it's very relaxing, and we don't have a formal dinner on Christmas Day. So that's like we eat our leftovers at nighttime. So it's kind of like a free for all, and we just kind of help ourselves to our leftovers. So that's what we do for our tradition. Tell me what you guys do. I love hearing everybody's traditions. My oven does have 3 racks, so I'll be able to use all 3 racks for this batch. Freshly washed hands. I think we're going to do some bells next. I got to get my bells. Hold on. And I got my next batch of dough ready here too. So there's my bells. All right. This fresh lined paper. I love these big giant cookie sheets. I remember one Christmas I asked for them from my husband. He got them for me, and I know he got them from Target a few years back now, and I love them. They're perfect for like right now for making cutouts, or really any kind of cookies, you know. They're just perfect. Okay, next batch of dough. And these ones we're going to do a little bit bigger cutout ones. The girls really like to decorate the bigger ones, so this one's going to be a Santa Claus one. So we'll do him. Okay, I put the Santas on the tray, and now I'm going to do some reindeers. Then we'll fill up this tray, and I'll have 3 trays to put back in for 8 minutes again. And then I have this little bit ball and this little ball, so I should be able to fill up 3 more trays, maybe 5 altogether. So after this round, 2 more rounds probably. And I made my icing last night also, and I have that in the fridge. So I just got it all done, and that way I can make these this morning before my nieces come. And then I got to clean all this up and then set up for when they come. I always send home a bag. I let the nieces pick out a bag full to take home with them to share with the rest of the family. They always love to do that. And we always put aside like the really extra special ones, and we put those ones out for Christmas Eve. And then I bag them up and I give them out to my family members and neighbors. Our mail lady, because she's amazing. I know my mom is looking forward to them. She knows I'm making them today, so she can't wait. So I'll probably drop some off to her tomorrow. Actually, I'll line these up with some reindeer and get these pans in these sheets in the oven. All right, last ball of dough. I'll do some more of these snowflakes, and then I think I'll do a couple of some stars and some stockings. Now this batch of dough, this was actually three batches I made. So it's a lot of dough, a lot of cookies. And honestly, they all go, every one of them, they go quick. Not only do I put the tray out for Christmas Eve, I always put baggies out too, so everybody can help themselves and take some to take home. My husband always puts a stash in the freezer to have on hand. And here's a true story. One year, I went back to school. I am a hairdresser, but I went back to school because I thought maybe I'd want to do something else. So I was in dental assisting school, full time, very intense program, very full time. And I also was working part time in the salon still. And our kids were young, probably like 7 and 9 maybe. So I didn't have a lot of time during the holidays because I had a lot of exams and a lot of tests stuff. So I had only time. I only did a little bit of cutouts, just enough kind of for like our party. So I did them ahead of time, and I put them in the freezer. And the day before Christmas Eve, when everybody was coming over, I went to go take them out of the freezer, and I couldn't find them. And I asked my husband, where are my cookies? And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, the ones in the freezer. And he said, well, I don't know. We were eating some of them out of the freezer. Him and my son were eating some out of the freezer. He said, well, did you hide some for the party, for the Christmas Eve dinner? I said, those were the hidden ones that were in the freezer. You know, they had a bin out that I always put out that they can eat, and then I put the rest in the freezer. So he said, well, I thought you hid some for the party, and we were eating them out of the freezer. I love them that way. So I did not have one single cookie at all for my Christmas Eve dinner. None. I had no cutouts. I didn't even have any. So nobody had any except for my husband and my son. They were the only ones that got them that year. And so I had to call my mom and say, Mom, I'm going to need you to put together a tray of your cookies that you made and bring them over for Christmas Eve, because I don't have a tray of cookies at all. They ate them all. Oh boy, I was crying. I was so upset. I said, here I am. I didn't have a lot of time as it was. You know, I was stressed out. I was, like I said, just going to school full time, you know, and I really was trying to wrap up with school and working and the kids and putting the holidays on, you know, and they ate all my cookies. So my son will always remember that because my husband tried to blame him for eating them all. He said, well, he kept giving them to me out of the freezer. And I said, so you just kept letting him? He said, yeah, they were good. So yeah, he tried to blame my son for eating all the cookies because my son just kept getting them out of the freezer apparently while I was at work or school. And my husband just kept eating them. I guess he didn't even think about it. So yeah, good times. These are all the cookie cutters I used. The Santa, the angel, the bell, the reindeer, snowflake, Christmas tree, gingerbread, the stocking, and a star. So that's it. So we'll get these on a pan. Okay, so while that last batch is in the oven, I'm going to clean all this up. I definitely like to make good use of my time. Then I'll start setting up for my nieces. All right, my nieces showed up and they're decorating like crazy for me. Love it. And they brought me a Starbucks peppermint latte. Super excited. So we are going to just decorate all these cookies up, make them all pretty for our Christmas party. Come on, girls.
Oh, yeah.
You having fun?
Yes.
Look at, these are all the ones that they've done so far. These are our show ones. We call them. They're worthy of putting out for Christmas Eve.
These are Fast and Furious ones.
These ones are Fast and Furious ones that they're the take-home ones for all their good deeds.
We're gonna eat them. It doesn't matter. They all taste the same.
Yeah. You know, they're obsessed with them. They like them when they find the broken ones because then what happens if you find the broken ones?
You can eat it.
Yeah, that's the rule. I think sometimes they purposely break them though.
What? No, you don't.
Are you sure? I think
These lies you're spreading.
I'm pretty sure. Well,
I mean,
you're so cute. I love this tradition. Okay, we have them all packaged up for Christmas Eve. I put them in gallon-sized freezer bags. And I have my mom's. I'm going to give my mom hers tomorrow. But they'll go in the fridge overnight. And then tomorrow they'll go in the freezer until the day before Christmas Eve. And I'll take them out of the freezer. So there is a complete day. I put everything back together again now. My kitchen's all cleaned up. My dishwasher is running. Cleaned my stove and oven. So that is it. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you guys so very, very much. Go make somebody smile today. Thank you. Bye.